Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India, India's voice to the world. This is Sports Buzz. I'm Prasar Bharati. Coming up in next half an hour. Manchester City starts Premier League campaign on a high, beats Chelsea 2-0. Haaland scores in his 100th appearance for the club. Jannik Sinner, Arina Sabalenka make their way to final of Cincinnati Open 2024 in men's singles and women's singles category. Australia to host a one-off test against England in 2027 to mark 150 years of test cricket. Match to take place at Melbourne Cricket Ground. Oval Invincibles defeat Southern Brave in the final to clinch the 100th title for the second consecutive year. Invincibles became the first men's side to win the 100 back-to-back after they beat Brave convincingly by 17 runs. Brave started the chase strongly but then collapsed from 58 for no loss to 102 for 7 thanks to Adam Zampa's initial breakthrough and Saqib Mahmood's 3-wicket in 7 balls. Will Jacks put on a crucial all-round performance as he scored a 22-ball 37 and took the key wicket of Braves skipper. Timil Mills led the Braves attack, taking 3 for 33. And London Spirit win the 100 for the first time as they defeat Welsh Fire by 4 wickets in a thrilling encounter. Despite a half-century from Australian all-rounder Jason Nasson, London Spirit restricted Welsh Fire to a total of 115 for 8 thanks to an outstanding bowling performance led by England spinners Sarah Glenn and Charlie Dean. The pressure of the chase started to weigh on Spirit until Gibson stepped in and struck 5 fours from her first 6 balls to swing the pendulum back in her team's favour. It came down to 4 needed of the last 3 balls before Deepti Sharma hit Hayley Matthews for a decisive 6 over long on. All right, and DD India correspondent Ollie Barrett joins us from London for more on this. Hello, Ollie. Oval Invincibles, you know, they became the team to win the title for the second consecutive time. Definitely a brilliant performance from the entire squad. How do you analyze this encounter, Ollie?
Yeah, it was an interesting game. It became a comfortable win in the end for Oval Invincibles. It didn't look like that all the way through the game, but really cementing their dominance over this competition, which is, of course, still in its early years, but Oval Invincibles making it very clear that they are a dominant force in this 100 competition, in this format that the ECB here in England is so wedded to and so keen to see succeed. So you mentioned those performances from Adam Zampa, from Saqib Mahmood as well. They were obviously crucial in this game. As I say, Oval Invincibles didn't necessarily look throughout like it was going to be easy or comfortable, but in the end, I think it's safe to say, fair to say that that's what it was.
Definitely. Certainly a morale booster, Ollie, when we talk about the entire squad winning back-to-back, you know, certainly gives them a push to even prepare for the encounter, you know, for the entire tournament for the next time as well. Where do you think was the turning point of the game, Ollie?
I think Saqib Mahmood's breakthrough with those wickets in quick succession turned out to be a key turning point. And you're quite right to point to Oval Invincibles clearly thinking about the future as well and what will happen next time around in this competition. So they will not just be celebrating, but looking ahead as well at what is going to be a very interesting period for the 100 because of it being opened up to much more international investment going forward, and we do expect that several IPL franchises may well try and take investments in the competition, in the teams for the next time around. That could even lead to things like name changes if franchises want to tie themselves up with their own branding. So perhaps it's possible that Oval Invincibles, having won it this time around, could be called something different in the next episode of the competition. One of the things, though, that the ECB here in England is focusing very much on when it comes to next time around is how it can continue to try and take market share at a time in the cricket calendar when you often have some of the biggest name players in cricket looking elsewhere. We saw this English summer that instead of playing in the 100, some players that the 100 might have wanted to attract were actually off in the Caribbean or the United States or even in Canada. So that will be one of the areas that the ECB tries to focus on when it comes to keeping the 100 going, is how it works out, how it can try and compete with some of those other international competitions that take place at around a similar time. And of course, a lot of that comes down to money, and that takes us back to that question around investment and the possible investment from overseas into some of the 100 teams, and can they better compete for some of the biggest international cricket stars?
Definitely, Ollie. Now talking about the women's final, certainly a dominant performance by London Spirit as well, and they might have got the Christmas gift early, winning the title for the first time. How are they feeling? How do you analyze that match?
Yeah, they would be delighted with that. So both the men's and the women's competition effectively with London teams. So London very much dominant in both formats of the game this time around. Deepti Sharma's 6 to win the game as it went down to the final overs was clearly the highlight, clearly the moment that people have been replaying over and over again on social media and sharing clips of that 6, which just crept over the line with the South African fielder unable to take a catch, which could have changed the outcome of that game. One of the other things to say about the women's final is that it was watched by over 22,000 people at Lord's. That is a record in terms of the crowd for the women's game in the 100 competition. And then you saw that moment again at the end where the women's team and the men's team that had been victorious celebrating at the same time. Those fireworks, that's the glitz and the glamour that the ECB have always said would be the kind of thing that can help attract crowds to these matches, but also crucial that the ECB having the women's format and the men's format being celebrated in the same way, in the same style, and the ECB insistent that the 100 has been very beneficial for women's cricket, and clearly that is something that they want to see continuing in the years ahead.
All right, thanks for your analysis, Ollie. Well, senior India fast bowler Mohammad Shami is likely to return to competitive action in October after 10 months for Bengal in Ranji Trophy. Shami is currently at the National Cricket Academy in Bengaluru and recovering from the ankle injury incurred during the 2023 ODI World Cup. He's also expected to make play for India in one of the test matches against New Zealand. The New Zealand Test series will begin from October 19 in Bengaluru, followed by tests in Pune and Mumbai. The 34-year-old last played for India in the ODI World Cup final against Australia in Ahmedabad on November 19 last year. And Atletico Madrid coach Diego Simeone expects a tough match on Monday against Villarreal on their first league match of the season. However, the Argentinian coach said the team has been training with a lot of enthusiasm and hope ahead of the new season. Simeone also said the characteristics of Argentinian forward Julian Alvarez are aligned with the DNA of Atletico Madrid. The arrivals of Argentinian forward Julian Alvarez from Manchester City and deals for Spain defender Robin Norman and last season's La Liga top scorer Alexander Sørloth are set to inject new energy into Diego Simeone's decade-long project that looked desperately in need of a breath of fresh air after 2 trophyless seasons. Simeone said Real Madrid are set to be the best team of the season and that the rest of La Liga teams will be competing to beat them.
Está adaptando ha jugado Olimpiadas.
Julian Alvarez is adapting. He played the Olympics and Copa America. He has had very little rest, and also those 10 days where he was on holidays, they weren't pure vacations, as he was pending to know if he left City or he was coming. So those talks do not allow you to completely relax, but I see him well with a lot of enthusiasm and hope. He knows where he is coming, understanding the place where he is, and all the characteristics that he has are very close to be DNA Atletico Madrid. So we are all expecting his performance. It's not a responsibility, but he has gained an important spot, and hopefully we can form a group team so that his characteristics help us.
Grupalmente para que las características de él. No cerramos la plantilla.
We haven't closed the squad, and as we wait for that, we need to focus on the match to see how the team grows match by match, and we would not isolate from that view. Clearly, in principle, Real Madrid looks like the best team for the season, and they will have to prove it with all the marvelous players they have, and all the rest of the teams. We will be back there to compete against the team that at the moment looks like the best.
Todos los demás estaremos detrás.
And reigning Premier League champions Manchester City begin their campaign with a win against Chelsea 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. On Sunday, Erling Haaland, who made his 100th appearance for Manchester City, opened the scoring with an 18th-minute goal. In the second, in fact, half, Chelsea tried to fight back when Nicholas Jackson received a deflected ball from Manchester City's goalkeeper. However, the Senegal forward was found to be offside. When Chelsea failed to fight back, Mateo Kovacic sealed the deal for Manchester City as he scored another goal for team in the 84th minute. Kylian Mbappe's La Liga debut for Real Madrid ends in a stalemate as defending champions fail to edge past Mallorca. Madrid started well and gained the lead owing to a fire-curling strike by Brazilian forward Rodrigo, who was assisted by a backheel pass from Vinicius Jr. in the 13th minute. However, Vedat Muriqi equalized with a header from Dani Rodriguez's cross. Mbappe came close to scoring but sent a shot just wide, forcing goalkeeper Dominic Krief into a save with his legs. This was the first time the 25-year-old had played a league game outside France after starting his career with Monaco. And Napoli's Serie A season kicked off on Sunday disastrously when it was overwhelmed 3-0 at Hellas Verona and lost star midfielder Khvicha Kvaratskhelia after he collided with an opposing player. Napoli's coach was forced to take off Kvaratskhelia just before halftime when the Georgian looked uncomfortable after the collision. The nightmare continued for Napoli after 75 minutes when Daniel Mosquera received a through ball and calmly struck a right-footed shot into double Verona's lead. In stoppage time, Verona scored a third as Napoli's defense faltered, allowing Mosquera to tap in a close-range pass and complete his brace. And still to come on DD India Sports Bus. Alcaraz apologizes for smashing a racket at Cincinnati Open on social media. Katarzyna won her first Women's Tour de France title by just 4 seconds.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Sports Buzz. I am Siddharth Bharadwaj, and India's top singles player Sumit Nagal bowed out of the Winston-Salem Open, an ATP 250 event, after a straight set defeat against Borna Coric in the first round. Nagal lost 4-6, 2-6 to the Croatian player in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Nagal converted the only break point he got in the contest while dropping his serve 4 times. In the doubles draw, former junior national champion Dakshineshwar Suresh will feature along with British partner Luca Pau. Indian wrestler Aman Sehrawat surged 4 positions to claim the world #2 spot in the men's 57 kilograms category as per the United World Wrestling Rankings on Sunday. At the Paris 2024 Olympics, Sehrawat won a historic milestone by becoming the youngest Olympic medalist for India. He secured a bronze medal in the men's 57 kilograms wrestling category by defeating Puerto Rico's Darian Toy Cruz with a score of 13-5. Sehrawat was the only Indian wrestler to earn a medal at the Paris Games. Before the Paris Olympics, the 22-year-old Indian was ranked 6th in the world. Indian wrestler Vinesh Phogat, while addressing the media and the people of her village, said that not getting the Olympic medal is a deep wound which will take time to heal. Vinesh was disqualified from the games on the morning of her 50 kilograms gold medal match after she missed weight by around 100 grams during the weigh-in. On her return to her village after the Paris Olympics, it was certainly a heartbreak for Vinesh. She was felicitated with a gold medal by the villagers. Vinesh went on to say, "I don't know if I am even worthy of such love and respect. I am blessed to be born in a place like this. I want to teach the sisters of my village whatever little I know in the wrestling so they can step up and take my place and do the country proud. I hope you will all support my sisters and give them your blessings. I am indebted to you for turning up for me, in fact." World #1 Yannick Sinner defeats Alexander Zverev in a 3-set thriller to secure a spot in the final. The 23-year-old had lost all 4 of his previous encounters against Zverev, but battled through a hip problem to end his losing streak and advance to the final. Despite some limping, the Italian player never lost his focus and produced a stunning performance to top Zverev in 3 hours and 7 minutes. Sinner will go head-to-head with American Francis Tiafoe in the final of the tournament for the chance to win his 5th ATP Tour title this season. Aryna Sabalenka beat world #1 Iga Swiatek for the first time this season to secure a spot in Cincinnati Open final. The pair had met twice before in 2024, but Sabalenka had lost both. This match was the first time Sabalenka beat Swiatek in straight sets, finally getting the best of her rival 6-3, 6-3. Sabalenka, who is in her first Cincinnati Open final, said she feels she had finally broken the wall. Sabalenka is now set to lock horns with Jessica Pegula in Monday's final, who defeated Spain's Paula Badosa 6-2, 3-6, 6-3 in the other semi-final. Poland's Katarzyna Niewiadoma won her first Women's Tour de France title by just 4 seconds on Sunday as she dug in during the race's grueling final alpine ascent. The 29-year-old Canaan SRAM rider summited the daunting Alpe mountain 1 minute, 1 second behind stage winner Demi Wollering to maintain her grip on the yellow jersey. It was the smallest margin of victory in any Tour de France edition, including the men's race. And Spanish tennis star Carlos Alcaraz apologizes for his unruly reaction during the loss to Gael Monfils at the Cincinnati Open on Friday. Alcaraz smashed his racket on the ground multiple times during the third set. He ultimately fell to 37-year-old Monfils in a hard-fought match. Taking to X, the 21-year-old Spaniard expressed regret over his actions, acknowledging that his attitude during the match was not appropriate. Alcaraz admitted that in the heat of the moment it was challenging to keep emotions in check, but he vowed to work on managing his temper in future matches. And Australia is set to host a one-off test in 2027 against England at the Melbourne Cricket Ground to mark 150 years of Test cricket. Australia won the single innings timeless match played between March 15 and 19 by 45 runs, before England won the second match at the same venue to tie the series 1-1. In 1977, the 100-year anniversary of the inaugural test was also observed with a test between Australia and England at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, with Australia winning the match again by 45 runs. Regarded as one of India's best first rushes in the hockey team, Indian defender Amit Rohidas, who made headlines after he was handed a red card in the quarterfinals, reflected on the historic bronze medal triumph in Paris in an exclusive conversation with DD India's correspondent Abhishek Prasad. Rohidas said he did not hit Great Britain's player intentionally, and also spoke about the beautiful tribute given by Hockey India to PR Srijesh.
Bronze medal triumph at Paris Olympics was truly historic, and to talk more about that, I have with me is Indian defender Amit Rohidas. Amit, ओडिशा से लेके इंडियन टीम तक का सफ़र, जब भी एशियन गेम्स हो या फिर अब पेरिस ओलंपिक्स हो या फिर टोक्यो ओलंपिक्स हो, आप उनका हमेशा से पार्ट रहे हैं, तो आप इस अपने सफ़र को किस तरह से देखते हैं?
देखिए, जब से मैंने खेलना स्टार्ट किया हूँ तब से जर्नी बहुत टफ रहा है। फैमिली का बहुत सपोर्ट रहा है, क्योंकि अगर फैमिली सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे तो इतना दूर पहुँच नहीं सकते हैं। तो मैं परिवार को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ, मेरे साथ हमेशा खड़ा रहते हैं और ये जर्नी यहाँ तक पहुँचाए हैं। और जितने भी मैंने इंडियन हॉकी टीम के लिए मैंने मेरे तरफ से जो भी मेरा ड्यूटी रहता है, उसके लिए मैंने अपना हार्ड वर्क करके ही मैंने मेहनत दे रहा हूँ कि जब से मैंने इंडियन टीम से जुड़ा हुआ हूँ। इस बार का सभी का यही माइंडसेट था कि कलर चेंज करेंगे मेडल का, हो नहीं पाया, लेकिन हमने खाली हाथ से नहीं आया, मेडल लेके मेडल ही होता है देश के लिए। तो ये जर्नी बहुत टफ रहा है और बहुत अभी खुश लग रहा है, और सभी देश प्राउड मोमेंट अभी सेलिब्रेट भी कर रहा है।
आप एक अहम हिस्सा निभाते हैं जब भी पेनल्टी कॉर्नर को डिफेंड करना होता है, तो जब आपको रेड कार्ड मिला तो आपकी पहली क्या रिएक्शन थी और टीम वालों ने आपसे क्या कहा जब सेमीफाइनल आप नहीं खेल पाए?
देखिए, क्वार्टर फाइनल में मेरे को 17 मिनट के बाद रेड कार्ड दिया गया, जो कि मैंने जानबूझ के नहीं मारा था। सभी इसके लिए चर्चा कर रहे हैं, देश चर्चा कर रहे हैं, प्लस टीममेट भी चर्चा कर रहे हैं कि वो रेड कार्ड नहीं था। अगर देना ही था तो अगर 5 मिनट या 10 मिनट का येलो कार्ड भी दे सकते थे, लेकिन जो पूरा मैच बाहर कर दिए, ये टीम का नुकसान हो रहा था उस टाइम। ऑब्वियसली अगर 2 मिनट अगर 5 मिनट का कार्ड मिलता है तो उस टाइम टीम का बहुत प्रॉब्लम होता है। जो टीममेट ने करके दिखाया है वो आज तक इंटरनेशनल इवेंट में ऐसा हुआ नहीं है। देश पूरा जान चुका है कि 10 प्लेयर से कैसे खेला जाता है और कैसे जीत के निकलते हैं। सेमीफाइनल मैच बहुत क्रूशियल मैच होता है, क्योंकि अगर वो मैच जीतते हो तो आप गोल्ड मेडल मैच के लिए खेलोगे। तो वो मैच मैंने बहुत मिस किया, टीममेट्स भी बहुत मिस किया, सभी ने देश भी मिस किया कि अगर अमित सेमीफाइनल खेलता तो कुछ और अलग हो सकता है।
श्रीजेश अब रिटायर हो चुके हैं, तो कितनी कमी खलेगी श्रीजेश की और उनके शूज़ को कौन फिल कर सकता है, और अब आप एलए के लिए क्या देखते हैं?
श्री भाई का आज हॉकी इंडिया ने जो शानदार प्रोग्राम रखा था, ये मैं हॉकी इंडिया को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। आज तक ऐसे प्रोग्राम नहीं हुआ है रिटायरमेंट किसी प्लेयर का। ये चीज़ मैं आगे भी ऐसे प्रोग्राम करें, क्योंकि प्लेयर को लाइफ में वो प्लेयर ही जानता है कि क्या स्ट्रगल करके क्या देश का वो खेलता है, कितना मेहनत करके खेलता है। लेकिन लास्ट में जब वो रिटायरमेंट होता है उसको सम्मान दे के विदा करना चाहिए, अभी वो प्लेयर को सेटिस्फेक्शन खुशी मिलता है। श्री भाई के लिए तो क्या बोलूँ, वर्ड्स ही नहीं।
All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Sports Biz. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching Sports Bus.